Each year, more than 100 million people are vaccinated against preventable diseases, but some still debate whether to get vaccinated at all.
Towards the end of the 1980s and into the 1990s and further, a whole crop of vaccines have come out that protect children against all kinds of bad bacteria and viruses. And so all of a sudden we've seen a decline in things like Haemophilus influenza, infection and sepsis and meningitis and pneumococcal disease, meningococcal disease. Children don't get the chicken pox anymore the way we used to. When I was a kid, I got the chicken pox because many of them do well, but there are complications that can ensue. There's something called Rice syndrome, from which these kids die or don't do well, are left with a lot of side effects or consequela. And so, in summary, it's not that I have studied it, it's that I have lived it as a physician, the benefit of the vaccines. I believe that vaccines, it needs to be understood, are like any medicine. They have side effects. And so there are no free rides in medicine. But the benefits far outweigh the risks. That they should be proactive and allow their children to be immunized as well as themselves. American medicine is not inexpensive. It's one of the most expensive in the world, if not the most expensive. And in reality, in the area of vaccine, this is one of the few things that we're doing here in the United States that is preventive, proactive. So in many areas, like I said, American medicine is excellent, but its focus is curative, not necessarily preventive. But in the area of vaccine, it's an area where we really stand at the forefront of the world in medicine. So my advice is, do not shy away from it.
It's really difficult sometimes for me as a pharmacist to understand people that are against vaccines. Having the knowledge and statistics on how effective or how bad they are. And there's a lot of misinformation, mainly in the United States, some areas, as I see. Vaccines are really a life-saving science. They are really proven over 100 years now for some vaccines. There's stories of success, like the polio vaccine. And especially in some areas of the world that they don't have, the health services that Western world may have, Western countries. It's essential. It's not important. It's essential. The risk of not taking the medication is far more than the risk of basically having any of these side effects that you can actually manage. Trust your family doctor. Trust the nurse that trust the pharmacist. Trust anybody that has a background and that because there's no reason for them to be telling you that something is right and then it's not.
It is no secret that vaccines have been one of the greatest accomplishments in medical history, yet there are some people who don't agree. Today we meet an anti-vaxxer to see what she has to say.
My name is Peggy Vivas, and I'm on the side of anti-vaccine. When I came to the US and I started working with my residents and all the papers for immigration, I have to go and, of course, have a medical exam and had some vaccines. And a couple of months after that, I got chicken pox, and I was 28 years old. That is very rare at that age to have chicken pox. I was very, very sick for a month. A few years after, I had my third daughter. 5 days after she was born, she started having seizures. I ran to the hospital. They started doing tests, exams. They couldn't find what she had. She was in intensive care, and they gave her 5 different antibiotics at the time. I went to a holistic pediatrician, and he told me, it's 5 antibiotics in a 5-day-old baby. it will deploy completely the immune system. So he showed me a list of the components for the vaccines, how the vaccines can damage a kid's body and have so many consequences. And it made so much sense. So since then, I try to avoid the vaccines with my kids. And the holistic side is preventive. You know, you can have a healthy eating, healthy thinking, healthy using natural remedies to take care of, you know, a little flu, cold, or headache, not taking medicine for any reason. So from my last experiences, I don't have my child, I don't give the vaccines to my kids.
Reporting for UMTV, this is Isabela Vitola.